Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nārayanam namaskrutyam naram chaiva narottamam devi sarasvati vyasam tato jayamudirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatim uttama shloke bhaktirabhavati naishtake. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. We are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, second canto, ninth chapter, 45th shloka. Sukadeva Goswami is saying to Parikshit Maharaj, Narada prāha munaye sarasvatyās taṭe nṛpa dhyāyate brahma paramam vyāsayat vyāsāyāmita-tejase vyāsāyāmita-tejase. Narada prāha munaye sarasvatyās taṭe nṛpa dhyāyate brahma paramam vyāsāyāmita-tejase. Translation. In succession, O king, the great sage Narada instructed Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam unto unlimitedly powerful Vyasdev, who meditated in devotional service upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, on the bank of river Sarasvatī. Hare Krishna. So we are hearing about the glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Brahmaji first learned the Bhagavatam from Bhagavan Vishnu or Lord Krishna. While Brahmaji was meditating upon and he was not sure about the purpose of his creation, Brahmaji did tapasya for hundreds and hundreds of years. And then Lord Vishnu was pleased. Lord Vishnu gave darshan to Brahmaji. Brahmaji could see the Vaikuntha Loka. At that time, Brahmaji asked questions to Bhagavan Krishna. And then there was the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, which was spoken by Lord Krishna to Brahmaji. Brahmaji had many sons, and the most prominent among them is, or most beloved of Brahmaji's son, is Narada Muni. Other sons of Brahmaji included Prajapati, Daksha, four Kumaras, and others. But among all the sons of Brahmaji, Narad Muni was very dear to Brahma because he was obedient to Brahmaji. When four Kumaras, they were asked by Brahmaji to do cycle of production, increase the population. At that time, the four Kumaras refused. So Brahmaji was not happy with four Kumaras. Similarly was Prajapati Daksha. But then Narad Muni had the quality that he was always ready to serve his father, Vyasdev. At the same time, Narad Muni was very humble. He was following the instructions of Brahmaji very carefully. And he had complete control of his senses. So Narad Muni, who is the guru of many great devotees like Dhruva, Prahlad, Vedvyasji, and so many other devotees. They learned from Narada Muni. So when Narada Muni saw that his father was very pleased and satisfied, at that time Narada Muni approached his father, Brahmaji, and he said, "Can you please tell me about Lord Vishnu, whom you met one to one in person, and he himself had instructed you, after which you started the creation process." So can you please impart this knowledge of Bhagavan Krishna, who gave the knowledge to you? I want to know about the different energies of Lord, and I want to know about the Lord himself. Brahmaji, who was very happy with Narad Muni, he instructed this knowledge of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam of 4 shlokas to Narad Muni. And yes, yesterday in the shloka we saw that there are 10 principles are explained in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. These 10 characteristics of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam were told by Brahmaji to his son elaborately. So originally there were 4 shlokas which were recited by Bhagavan Krishna to Brahmaji, Chatushloki. But Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam has total 18,000 shlokas. So these 4 shlokas were expanded upon to explain the details of Bhagavatam by Brahmaji to Narad Muni. And then in this shloka, it is mentioned here that this great sage instructed this Bhagavatam to unlimitedly powerful Vyasdev. Vyasdev was sitting by the river Sarasvatī in Badrikashram, and Vyasdev was meditating upon, after composing all the Vedic literature, all the Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, Mahabharata, Vyasdev was not satisfied. So at that time, Vyasdev was feeling that something is missing in the creation, in the literature. So at that time, Narad Muni appeared there, and Narad Muni instructed it to Vyasdev. We'll read the purport by Śrīla Prabhupada. In the 5th chapter of First Canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Narada Muni instructed the great sage Vyasdev as follows. So we have heard about this from the first canto. Here is Prabhupada referring to the first canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 5th chapter. Ato mahabhaga bhavan amogadruka shuchi shavah satyarato ditavrataha uru kramasya kila bandha muktaye samadhi anushmara tada vichestitam. Narad Muni is saying, "O greatly fortunate, pious philosopher, your name and fame are universal, and you are fixed in the absolute truth with spotless character and infallible vision. I ask you to meditate upon the activities of Personality of Godhead, whose activities are unparalleled." So Vyasdev was instructed by Narad Muni that you should meditate upon the activities of Lord Sri Krishna, right from birth of Lord Krishna to his Bal Leela, and then other pastimes, including Lord Ramachandraji's pastime, Dashavatar pastime. Dashavatar is Matsya Avatar, Kurma Avatar, Varaha Avatar, Narsimha, Vamana, Balram, all these avatars.
At the time of Shiva and Parvati, Shiva also had
Yes, so there is another history of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam.
at what time it was?
So there are many devotees who heard this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. But this is the first origin. So Lord Krishna to Brahmaji, Brahmaji to Narada, Narada Muni to Vyasdev. So in the disciplic succession of Brahma Sampradaya, the practice of yoga meditation is not neglected. But because the devotees are bhakti yogis, they do not undertake the trouble to meditate upon the impersonal Brahman. As indicated here, they meditate upon Brahma Param or Supreme Brahman. So there are people who do meditation. Meditation means the focusing your mind upon something. Some people meditate upon the breathing. It's called pranayama. Some people meditate upon a light. But the devotee of Lord, they meditate upon Lord Krishna, his activities, his pastimes, his name. Brahman realization begins from the impersonal effulgence. But by further progress of such meditation, manifestation of the Supreme Soul, Paramatma realization takes place. And progressing further, the realization of the absolute personality of Godhead is fixed. So there are three stages of realization of God. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti Shabdate. So first realization of God is in the form of a Brahman. Brahman means the light. Some people say that God is in the form of a light. That is true, but partly true. The next realization is Paramatma, where one starts seeing Bhagavan, God within everybody. That is called Paramatma realization. And the ultimate realization is the Bhagavan realization that, oh, Krishna is a person, he is not just a light. So that is Bhagavan realization. Sri Narada Muni, as the spiritual master of Vyasdev ji, knew very well the position of Vyasdev. And thus he certified the questions of Śrīla Vyāsadeva. He certified the qualities of Śrīla Vyāsadeva as fixed in absolute truth with great vow. Narada advised meditation upon the transcendental activities of Lord. So this is very important. If we really want to realize God, then there's the best way to realize God is to focus upon his activities. And that is why we read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam or Bhagavad Gita. Because when we meditate upon Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, every day we are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the morning and Bhagavad Gita in the evening, because we want to meditate upon wonderful pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna every single day. And then when we meditate upon, then as Vyasdev ji could see Krishna, if you are really interested in seeing Krishna one to one, then you have to meditate upon different activities of Lord Krishna. So now the Jagannath ji festival is coming up. Last week we had Jagannath Snan Yatra, and then 10 days from now will be Jagannath ji's Rath Yatra. So you see, this month we meditate upon the Lord Jagannath's pastimes. Then will come Janmashtami, then we will meditate upon Lord Krishna's pastimes. Then will come Dashera, when we meditate upon Lord Ramachandraji's pastimes. Then will come Diwali, where we will meditate upon the Samudra Manthan Leela. So in this way, throughout the year, all the festivals we celebrate. Ram Navami, Guru Gaur Purnima, Holi, then Jagannath Rath Yatra, then Janmashtami. All these festivals, because every festival we meditate upon the activities of Lord. So the purpose of festivities in Bharatvarsha is that with each festival we remember Krishna. That is the purpose. Festivals are made for enjoyment, like distributing the sweet and gifts and all those things are good. But the real purpose of festival is to meditate upon the transcendental pastimes of Lord. Impersonal Brahman has no activities, but personality of Godhead has many activities, and all such activities are transcendental without any tinge of material quality. So some people, they believe that God has no form. Bhagwan ko koi swarup nahi hai. There are many sampradayas or many so-called religions, they believe that God is not a person. They believe that God is just a light. So for them to meditate upon, there is nothing, just the light. But for us, with the benefit of our Acharya, Guru Parampara, we have pastimes of Lord Sri Ramachandra to meditate upon. We have Lord Krishna's pastimes to meditate upon. We have Lord Chaitanya's pastimes to meditate upon. So the purpose of putting all these pictures is that whenever we see them, we can meditate upon the pastime of Lord Krishna. Oh, when Krishna was born, then Vasudev took Krishna in his lap and he traveled over the Yamuna river and he reached from Mathura to Nandagaon. So when we see the picture, we can meditate upon Lord Krishna. That is why we have pictures. That is why Srila Prabhupada included wonderful pictures in all the books. If the activities of Supreme Brahman were material activities, then Narada would not have advised Vyasdev to meditate upon. And Param Brahma is Lord Krishna as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. In the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna realized the factual position of Lord Krishna, he addressed Krishna in the following words: Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavam, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adidevam Ajam Vibhu, Ahustvam Rahasya Sarve Devarshi Nardas Tatha, Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Arjuna summarized the purpose of Bhagavad Gita by his realization of Lord Shri Krishna and thus said, My dear Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, you are the Supreme Absolute Truth, the original person in the eternal form of bliss and knowledge. And this is confirmed by Narada, Asita, Devala and Vyas. And above all, your personal self has also confirmed it. When Vyasdev fixed his mind in meditation, he did it in Bhakti Yoga, trance. And actually he saw Supreme Person with Maya, the illusory energy, in contraposition. So when Vyasdev ji did the meditation upon Lord by the Sarasvatī river in Badrikashram, Vyasdev ji could see Lord Krishna standing with his energy, Maya. As we have discussed before, the Lord's Maya or illusion is also representation because Maya has no existence without Lord. Darkness is not independent of light. Without light, no one can experience the contraposition of darkness. However, this Maya or illusion cannot overcome the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but stands apart from Him. Apariyasam. Therefore, perfection of meditation is realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with His transcendental activities. Meditation on impersonal Brahman is troublesome business for the meditator, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 12.5. Klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam. So here, conclusion is that as Vedvyasji meditated upon the pastimes of Krishna and he could see Krishna along with his energy Maya Shakti, if we meditate upon the pastimes of Lord Krishna regularly, Nityama Bhagavata Sevaya, then we will also be able to see God face to face. That is the glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Randraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande.